Hey team! Last year's SMCs put together a video full of wisdom and advice and tips for you all. So we hope as you are heading into the summer and reflecting before our year together, that this will be just a source of encouragement to you. So enjoy!
Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere you face, somebody who needs you. La 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 la. Everybody eventually says that they're as lost as you. So everybody shout it together. Hey, don't sell your dreams so soon. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to.
Hello. I know I have already shared this with some of you, but the most important thing that I learned this year was how to take care of myself. And I know that sounds maybe a little silly, but I think going into this year, I thought I knew what rest looked like for me, and I quickly realized that I really didn't. And as a very extroverted person, I didn't really expect to need much alone time this year, but I found that I really needed it, and I needed to find ways that poured into my bucket and filled me up so I could then pour into others. And I think I found that spending time alone with God is something necessary. And in the past, I think I very much connected to God through other people, but I learned that I have to find ways to connect to God on my own too. And so I just hope the same for you guys, and I hope you can all find ways to continue to pour into yourself so that you can in turn pour into others and love others well. I'm so excited to see where this next year takes you, and I hope to be back on campus with you all soon.
I think something that's very important is just to be yourself. You know, you all have your own qualities. You all got chosen for a reason. Be vocal. You know, these qualities are what makes you guys strong as a group. You know, I would say, you know, a big portion, big time. You're gonna spend a lot of time planning events. You know, whether that's for your res hall or for the school. And you know, sometimes you have all these thoughts in your head, all these, you know, visions of how many people are gonna show up, how it's supposed to go out. But I just want to say, don't be discouraged if things don't go exactly the way you were hoping they would go. You know, like college students, there's a lot on our plate. We're busy, but you know, just make the most of the people that do go and just try and make the most of the event.
Number one, I would suggest setting up a small group for your dorm as soon as possible at the beginning of the school year and then advertise for it. Number two, just to be present on your floor and get to know the RAs and have them let you know when they are hosting events so that you can go to them when you are available and you can get to know a lot of different people on different floors through that avenue. And then thirdly, pray. It's impossible to get to know everybody in the dorm, and so it's important to ask God to show you who He wants you to intentionally pursue, and to trust God that He will bring people to you that need encouragement and love.
Hey guys, I just want to say that God has chosen each of you to this. He has called out all of you towards this mission and to this team. It's going to be great next year. I'm so excited to work with all of you people, all of you guys. It's going to be super rad. So excited. Just try to remember that you're here for the people, you're here for yourself, and you're here for God. That pretty much sums it up, man. So take care of yourself, connect with people, RAs, other staff, residents, and keep up your relationship with God. Remember, that's more important than what you think the ministry, the vision might look like. Really, it's the relationship with God. So psyched to hang out with you guys.
Hey friends, I think it's really good to have these hopes and dreams that I'm sure many of you have coming into the year next year. Hopes for what your ministry might look like, and all of those different things. But something that I've learned this year is that my year as an SMC looked completely different from what I thought it was going to, and it was still good and it was still okay. So I would just encourage you to be thinking about those dreams that you have for yourself and for your community next year, and to notice when the times that you're holding on to those really tightly, and just ask God what you need to let go of. Because I think once I learned that, that was super important for me just as an SMC this year, and super beneficial in my own ministry. But I'm super excited for all of you. So glad to get to work with you next year, and I hope you have an amazing summer.
Hello, future SMCs. Wow, you made it. I'm so thankful for every single one of you, and so excited to see what God does for you this upcoming year. Just some wisdom that I think really helped me as I developed in this is just being really flexible. Things are going to come out a lot differently than you expect, and while you may have dreams and visions and goals, I say, yeah, run after those, but I just encourage you, keep your hands wide open, and you might be surprised by where God takes you and how He uses you. So thank you so much again for serving this coming year, and I hope you have a fantastic SMC year. Thank you so much.
I wanted to thank you guys first and foremost for accepting the position. We're so excited about passing the torch on to you guys and know that you will all be so great. As far as next year goes, just wanted to kind of remind you that ministry looks different for everyone, and the places that you're going to be called might look different than the places that people on your team are called, or people in the rest of the ministry, and that you should be able to lean into that and be excited about that, because that's, you know, part of why we picked you, is that you each have such individual and unique passions. And in pursuit of those passions, just remember that it's important to expect the unexpected. There are parts of being an SMC that I didn't think I would like at all, but I ended up loving, and parts that I was super confident about that ended up being really challenging for me. So yeah, just remember that wherever you go is where you're supposed to be, and we'll be praying for you and here for you along the journey, and reach out if you guys ever need anything.
Hello! Be mindful of how you ask questions throughout the year. Some people are going to be really naturally gifted at just asking questions, and if you're like me, questions are harder. Like, I ask questions when I think they're really important, but you're gonna be in situations where you have to be the one to ask questions a lot. So throughout the year, just pay attention to how you're asking questions and why you're asking questions. Even if you naturally ask questions, think about the motive behind the question. It's really important to think about, is this question benefiting me as an SMC? Is it like, at the beginning, there's gonna be a few of those when you're trying to figure out how to ask a question. Is this question benefiting the person that I'm talking to? Is it helping them process, or is it just, are they reliving something they don't need to relive, or something that I don't need to know about? Or is it benefiting the relationship? So you get to know more about the person, they get to know about you, so that you can talk about deeper things later or whatever. So it's a year-long process. It's gonna take a long time, but honestly, questions are one of the biggest things that I learned how to ask this year.
Hey! All these wonderful humans also have given wonderful advice. I would remember to think outside the box when it comes to events or small groups or one-on-one ideas. There is going to be so much information thrown at you, so many ideas at the beginning of the year in training, different requirements, different things that you're going to need to do. But because you guys are all different, and because there are different talents and different gifts on this SMC staff, you guys all have something to bring to the table, but you guys are also all in different residence halls. And that means different people, different dynamics, different groups. So think about that, and remember, when you're thinking of a small group idea or just a way to connect with your residents, think outside the box. It could be a small group that studies the Bible. It could be a small group that plays darts and eats donuts. Like, there's just so many different ways that you can reach your residents.
The best piece of advice that I can give you is to get outside regularly and get outdoors. And I think this can happen in a number of different ways. For me, sometimes it looked like just hopping on my bike and taking a ride around the city when it was sunny outside. Or sometimes it looked like going out on the weekends and going for a hike, sometimes with my friends, and sometimes just kind of by myself when safe. And I found that this time was really crucial because it was kind of this place where I was able to recharge and I think be able to do my job better the other days of the week. And so not only did, in a way, I find rest out there, I think I also encountered God in ways. And I think that's something that's really special. And so if going outdoors isn't something that is, I guess natural or something that you've done before, there are really great clubs on campus, or I'm sure other people who would love to go with you. So I'll say that getting outdoors is a crucial part of leading well as an SMC.
I guess the greatest piece of wisdom that I could give to you all is just to let God be God and lead out of this place of surrender to God, not trying to conjure something up all by yourself or do it on your own strength, but instead stepping into what God is already doing and paying attention to what that is in your hall, in your community, being prayerful to where God is, where God is active. In Exodus 33:15, Moses says to God, "If your presence will not go with me, do not bring us up from here. Wherever you go, whatever you do, just do it in the presence of God."
I think the biggest advice I could give to incoming SMCs is just to be confident in your role as an SMC and remember that you're in this position for a reason, whether or not it's something that you envisioned for your year. I know last year stepping into the role as an SMC is not something I wanted to do, but I felt like it's where God wanted me to be. Throughout the year, I really looked to Proverbs 3:5-6 just to be reminded to trust in God and his plans. And it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight." I think it's really hard for us to see God's vision in our lives, especially if it doesn't align with our own visions for our lives. But I think it's just important to remember, no matter what space you're in, whether being an SMC is something that you wanted to do or you felt led to do, that we all have a purpose in Christian ministry as SMCs, and that God's going to work through us, and we just need to be confident and trust God's plan.
Something that I really learned is don't be afraid to say no. You can't do everything. We as humans need sleep and nutrition and exercise and need time to fill ourselves with God and with things that fill us in order for us to be able to fill other people and encourage and love on others.
Learn from your other SMCs, learn from Kelsey, learn from your RHMCs, learn from your residents. Like that, you are in a place, yes, you are in a place of leadership. You're also a student. Like you are still in a position where you can learn and you can grow. And
Just don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm sure that all the other SMCs would be more than glad to help you out, and if they're able to help, really use your leaders as help. They are honestly there to help you. They want to see you all thrive.
Take your staff on one-on-one.
Come on!
Don't forget to pray.
Pray! Y'all do it.
Especially with someone.
Yes. Prayer partners.
Yeah.
Also, feel free to reach out via email, via text, via carrier pigeon if you'd like.
Oh.
We'd
My
love.
carrier pigeon wants to meet your carrier pigeon.
Oh, they're gonna be best friends.
All right. Adios.
Adios.